Good day, students. Welcome to mathgotserved.com. In this clip, we're going to be going over section 7.2b on our series on operations on fractions, where we're going to be multiplying, dividing, adding, and subtracting fractions. In this presentation, we're going to be looking at how to multiply mixed numbers. Don't forget, we have some practice problems at the end of this tutorial for you to try out to demonstrate mastery of the contents of this presentation. And to gain access to the prerequisite skills to help you master the content here, just scan this QR code or you can take a look at the links in the description below. Alright, so the instructions for the examples that we're going to do are for us to multiply the given mixed numbers. Alright, question number 1. Let's say we have the mixed number 2 1/3 multiplied by 3 2/3. Okay? Alright, so to get us started with the solution to this problem, let's go ahead and go over the steps that are going to guide our problem solving process. Okay? So these are the steps for multiplying mixed numbers. So the first thing you want to do when you're multiplying mixed numbers is you want to convert mixed numbers into improper fractions. Okay, so convert mixed numbers into improper fractions. Now, if you have a proper fraction or a whole number, just express them as fractions. You don't have to make any conversions there. All right, you're going to see an example like that in question number 3. But if you have a question like number 1, both are mixed numbers, you want to convert all the mixed numbers in your factors into improper fractions. Extremely important. After you do that, you multiply the fractions. Step number 1 we did in the previous presentation, 7.2a, how to convert mixed numbers into improper fractions and the reverse. If you don't remember how to do that, just scan the QR code right here and then you go right to the video and then you can review those skills. Right? Okay, and then multiplying fractions, we also went over this previously. You can also review that in the series under the playlist. When you're done multiplying the fractions, you are then going to simplify your answer. Simplify your answer. Alright, so just one additional step that we'd like you to do in the examples is after you're done multiplying the mixed numbers, we'd like you to write the answers in. So write answers as improper fractions and mixed numbers. Okay, so you're going to get to review what we covered in the previous presentation. So write your answers as improper fractions and mixed numbers. All right, so let's do this. So we have 2 1/3 multiplied by 3 2/3. So the first thing we're going to do is we're going to convert these two mixed numbers into improper fractions. Okay, so let's separate our work. We're going to do that on the side here. We're going to convert to improper fractions. Alright, so the first number is 2 1/3, so you'll hopefully remember the steps to do the conversion. You take the denominator multiplied by the whole number, and then you add that result to the fraction. To the numerator of the fraction, and that number divided by the denominator will be your improper fraction. Alright, so let's show you the steps. So you're going to take 3, the denominator of the fractional component of your mixed number, multiply by the whole number or the quotient. When you divide the improper fraction, so 3 times 2, and then you're going to add the answer to 1. And don't forget to divide that by the denominator, which is 3. Bam. All right. Please excuse my dear Aunt Sally. Do the product operation in the parentheses first. So you get 6 plus 1 divided by 3. Okay. So the numerator operation is what you do next. 6 plus 1 is 7. So you have 7 over 3. So if you convert 2 and 1/3 into improper fraction, you would get 7 over 3. Bam. All right. Let's shift our attention to 3 and 2/3. We're going to do exactly the same thing, okay? Denominator times whole number added to the numerator. Bam, bam, bam. So we're going to have 3 times 3 plus 2, and then we're going to divide that by the denominator of the fractional component of the proper fraction part of the mixed number, which is 3. Okay? All right, let's simplify that. 3 times 3 is 9 plus 2 divided by 3. And then 9 plus 2 is 11 divided by 3. Okay, so if you write 3 over 2 as an improper fraction, it's going to be 11 over 3. We're done with step 1, which is converting the mixed numbers into improper fractions. Now we're going to multiply the fractions. We went over this previously. So if you want to multiply fractions, all you do is you multiply the numerator and the denominator. Okay? So you see why we had to convert the mixed numbers into fractions, right? Because we already know the algorithm for multiplying fractions. You want to multiply mixed numbers is extremely complicated. But when you write it as a fractional form, it's as simple as just multiplying the numerators by each other, 77, and then the denominators by each other, 9. Okay? So there you have it. Now that we're done multiplying the fractions, we're now going to simplify our answer. Okay? We're going to attempt to see if we can reduce or simplify. So what are we talking about here? Are there any common factors that we can extract from the numerator and the denominator? So we're going to make our factor tree, our chart of factors, and then we're going to see if there are any common factors that we can pull out. Let's start with 9. You always start with a smaller one, so you don't go too far with the big one. What are the factors of 9? 3 and 9. So we're going to look for the factors of 77 up to 9. Okay, nothing greater because 9 can go into something, because something bigger can't be a factor of 9. All right, so what are the factors of 77? Smallest first one is 1, 2 can go, 3 can, 4, 5, 6, 7 is the first one. Okay, and then 8, 9, the next one is 11, right? So we can stop right here because 11 is bigger than 9. All right, so as you can clearly see, there are no common factors between 77 and 9. Okay, so this answer cannot be simplified. So 77 over 9 is going to be our answer in the improper fraction form. So this answer that we have right here is the improper fraction. Okay? But remember, the instructions told us to write the answer in improper fraction and what? Mixed numbers. So now we're going to convert to mixed numbers. Let's do that. So convert, make it green, convert 77 over 9 to mixed numbers. So we get the second form of the answer. All right, so to do this, we're just simply going to use our long division algorithm to accomplish the conversion. So 77 over 9 is just the same thing as 77 divided by 9, long division. Top dog goes in the doghouse. So the numerator goes underneath the long division bar, 9 outside. And we'll just long divide, okay? So 9 can go into 7, so we look at both of them together, 77. If you think about your multiples of 9, 9 goes into 77 8 times. 9 times 8 is 72. Okay, and then you remember how to long divide. You divide, multiply, subtract, and then there's nothing to bring down. All right, so this is going to become 8 whole number. So 77 divided by 9 is 8 whole number, remainder 5. So how do we write this in mixed number format? What you do is you write down the quotient as the whole number and then the remainder over the denominator of the original improper fraction. Bam. All right, that's what we went over in lesson 7.2a. So let's go ahead and write down our final answer. The product of 2 1/3 and 3 2/3 is equal to 77/9 in improper fraction form, or 8 whole number 5/9 in mixed number formats. Okay, so let's go ahead and box out our answers and take a look at the next example. All right, so for question number 2, let's say that we are to multiply the given mixed numbers, number 2 1/3 and 1 4/5. Okay, so we're gonna go a little bit faster with this second example since you've seen the first one. I'm gonna leave out some details. So 2 1/3 times 1 4/5. We're gonna follow the steps that we went over previously. So first things first, you want to convert these two numbers into improper fractions, okay? All right, let's do it. So we'll pick the first one, 2 1/3. Convert that to improper fraction. You just multiply 3 by 2 and you add it onto 1. Okay, so that's 3 times 2 plus 1, and that's divided by the denominator, which is 3. Simplify that. 3 times 2 is 6 plus 1 over 3. That's 7/3. So 2 1/3 in improper fraction form is 7/3. Let's shift to the next mixed number, 1 4/5. The same steps. Multiply and add. Bam, bam. All right, let's do it. So we have 5 times 1 plus 4 divided by 5. Okay, so 5 times 1 is 5 plus 4 divided by 5. 5 plus 4 is 9/5. That's your improper fraction form for 1 4/5. Okay, so we're done with step 1 of multiplying mixed numbers, which is converting those mixed numbers into improper fractions. Next thing we're going to do is multiply numerator times numerator, denominator times denominator. 7 times 9 is 63. 3 times 5 is 15. Bam. Okay. All right, so now that we're done multiplying, done with step 2, we're going to reduce, all right, or simplify our answer. Simplify or reduce if possible. Okay, so are there any common factors here? Can we? Is there anything that we can divide both top and bottom by? Let's check it out. So we're going to make our chart of factors and see if there are any common factors we can extract. So let's see, we have 15. Let's start with the smaller one, and then 63, the bigger one. So what goes into 15? 3 goes. 4, 5, yes. 6. 15. Bam. Okay. All right, 63. 2 doesn't go because it's odd. Does 3 go? Yeah, if you add these two digits, 6 plus 3 is 9. Since 3 goes into the sum of the digits, that means 3 goes into this number right here. Okay, so 3 is a factor. I want to stop here. I want to just use the first factor. I want to break it down, reduce it into a simpler problem. I don't want to look for all the factors of 63, okay? So since 3 is a factor, we can reduce by 3. So divide the top and bottom by 3. Bam, bam. Okay, so 63 divided by 3. You can use your long division to do it. Let's do it on the side here. So 3 divided by 63. 3 goes into 6. 2 times 3, 6. Subtract that. 0, bring down 3. 3 goes into 3, 1. 1 times 3, 3. 0. So it's 21. Okay. All right. So this is going to become, 63 over 15 is going to become 21. 63 divided by 3 is 21. 15 divided by 3 is 5. All right. Are there any common factors here? Well, 5 is a prime number. Okay. Does 5 go into 21? The answer is no. The only numbers that 5 go into are numbers that end up in 0 or 5. Okay, so if you want, you can just check with your factor tree, with your factors chart for 21 and 5. No, you do the small one first. So 5 and 21. What are the factors of 5? Just 5. What are the factors of 21? 3, 7. We can stop at 7, right? So there are no common factors for these two numbers, all right? So that tells you that 21 over 5 is the simplest form. 21 over 5 is our answer in the improper fraction form. So according to the instructions for the example, we're to also write it as a mixed number. Okay, so what we're going to do is we are going to convert the answer we got, 21 over 5, into what? This is an improper fraction, so we're going to convert it into a mixed number. Okay, so we just simply use the long division algorithm to accomplish this conversion. Let's do it. So we have 21 over 5. It's just the same thing as 21 divided by 5, right? Top dog goes in the doghouse, 5 on the outside. 5 goes into 21 4 times. And then 4 times 5 is 20. We're using the long division algorithm here. You divide, multiply, subtract. There's nothing to bring down here because this is the last place, 1. So our answer is 4 remainder 1. How do we write this as a mixed number? The quotient is the whole number. The remainder is the numerator of the fractional component over the denominator. Bam, bam, bam. So we have our answers. Let's write down our final answer. The product of the mixed numbers 2 and a third and 1 and 4/5 is 21 over 5 as an improper fraction, or 4 and 1/5 as a mixed number. Okay, so there you have it. All right, let's go over one more example. We're going to do this real quickly just to show you a different case, and then we'll give you some practice problems so you can try out those problems and build up your skills. So what if you have 5 over 6 times 3? You can see the difference here. In this case, we are multiplying a mixed number by a whole number. How do you do something like this? So in this particular case, we're going to have to express both numbers as fractions. Okay? The first one will be an improper fraction. The other, well, both of them are going to be improper fractions. So let's see. 5 over 6 You know the steps. Just multiply the denominator by the whole number and add 1. Add it to the numerator over the denominator. Okay, so that's 18 plus 5 over 6, and that's 23 over 6. Bam. We already know how to do this. We've done this several times already. Now, how about this whole number 3? How do you write this as an improper fraction? Well, if you have a whole number and you carry out operations and fractions, you just divide it by the identity on the division, which is unity, 3 over 1. Okay, there you have it. So 3 and 5/6 is going to become 23 over 6 multiplied by 3 over 1. You see that? So now just multiply numerator by numerator. 23 times 3 is 69 over denominator times denominator, which is 6. So let's go ahead and find common factors here. We want to reduce that. So let's make our factors chart. Start with a small one, 6 and 69. What goes into 6? 2 goes, 3 and 6. What goes into 69? 2 doesn't go because it's odd. If you add this 2 to 6 plus 9 is 15. That's a multiple of 3. 3 goes, absolutely. 4 definitely not. If 2 doesn't go, then 4 cannot go. 4 goes only into 2 has to be a factor in order for 4 to be a factor too. 5, it doesn't end up in 0 or 5. 6, absolutely not. Why? Well, because 2 is a factor of 6, and if 2 can go into a number, you guarantee that 6 cannot go into that number also. So we stop right there because 6 is the biggest number. So the GCF that we have here is 3. That's the greatest common factor. Remember, whenever you're reducing by the greatest common factor, you do not have to simplify any further. Dividing out the common factor will result in its simplified state. So let's divide both sides by the GCF, which is 3. Divide by 3, divide by 3. And then you automatically have the simplified form, 23 over 2. And this is your answer as an improper fraction. Now we're going to do the next step, which is to convert it to mixed numbers. Okay, so next we're going to convert what? Convert the improper fraction 23 over 2 into mixed numbers. All you just do here is use the long division algorithm, right? To accomplish that, 23 over 2 is 23 divided by 2, right? Top dog, which is 23, the numerator goes in the doghouse, the long division bar, put the 2 on the outside, and then we just simply log and divide, right? Divide, multiply, subtract, bring down. Repeat until you're done. All right, so 2 goes into 2 once. Let's divide, multiply. 1 times 2, 2. Subtract, get 0. Bring down the 3. And repeat. 2 goes into 3 just once. Divide, multiply. 1 times 2, 2. Subtract. Nothing to bring down, okay? So this is 11 remainder 1. If you want to write it as a mixed numbers format for the division problem, is going to be 11 whole number, the quotient, the remainder divided by the denominator, which is 2. Bam, bam, bam. All right, so let's write down our final answer statement. 3/5 over 6 times 3 is equal to the improper fraction 23 over 2, or the mixed number 11 and a half. Ladies and gentlemen, there goes your answer for question number 3. All right, so right now we're going to give you some practice problems to try out in order to demonstrate mastery of this presentation. Alrighty, ladies and gentlemen, here are the 4 practice problems that we'd like you to try out. Go ahead and pause this video at this time. Try out these 4 practice problems. When you're done, click on the playback button. and we are going to reveal what the correct answers are. Alrighty, so there goes the answers to question 1 to 4. Go ahead and check your work. So how did you do? If you did well in these 4 practice problems, go ahead and destroy that like button for us. If you have any questions about what we went over, just specify it in the comment section below, and we'll be more than glad to support you. Thanks so much for taking the time to watch this presentation. Please help support our channel by liking, subscribing, and sharing this video with your friends. Tons of support resources can be found at mathgotserved.com, or you can just scan the QR code or take a look at the links in the description below. Thanks again for watching, and we'll see you in the next video. Goodbye.